friends, welcome to Creating with Jovi and to the flip through of this Cruella De Vil comic book, altered comic book I should say, or we could call it a comic book junk journal, whatever you want to call it. I took this comic book and I did alter it actually. The entire story is intact and in order, just so you know. So let's take a look at the cover. This is the original cover. And all I did to the cover was add this sparkly red trim because I thought that was perfect. This is the back. The back's not too exciting. If you wanted to purchase this, you could cover the back if you wanted to, but I figured I'd leave it the way it is for now. There's room for more altering inside if you wanted to do that, but it's definitely a completed altered comic book, okay? So let's have a look inside at the story. This book, I didn't want to become too much of a gator mouth, so I was very, very careful with my embellishments to keep them as flat as possible, just so you know. So this is the inside cover, and all I did here was add this really fun, sparkly trim. This is a belly band. Oh, and I wanted to measure this for you guys because this is quite a tall journal and I don't usually do measurements when I do my flip throughs. I always just put them in my Etsy shop. But I figured I'd go ahead and do that because this would not be a traditional size journal. This is an invitation, and because, you know, she says, welcome everyone, feast your eyes on the extravagance, so she must be holding a party, so we have a nice big invitation in here under our belly band. Let's do our quick measurements, okay? All right, this measures, I think it's 11 inches in height, but almost. It's almost 11 inches in height, and for width it is 6.5. So it's not huge, but it's definitely a little bit bigger than what I customarily create. Okay? All right, here we go. So, okay, I wanted to let you know about this. In between each page of the comic book, I did side pockets like this. They're nice, big pockets, okay? So you're going to see a lot of these throughout, and I put in really nice, big journaling tags, okay? Or memory keeping tags, whether you're journaling or adding photos to them or whatever, okay? So that's in each one of these pockets, and they each one have a little notch right here so that you can see that there's a tag inside. Now, I used scrapbook paper inside of this. I used the 12 by 12s and only had to cut off about 1 inch from the top. This is the other side of the scrapbook paper, and I hope you can see it. There is some sort of like writing and there's some stuff going on there, but it's a very light colored page, very easy to journal over. This is a page from the comic strip as well as this. This is one of those pockets again, but I added some notebook paper and this nice thick trim up here, and inside our pocket is our nice big journaling card. Along with that, I put a piece of jelly print in, and you can take this and gesso it and write over it. You could take it and use it in a completely different project, or you could add it in other places in the journal. I just figured I'd put it in there so that you could have fun with it. A nice piece of paper here with this nice sparkly trim. One of the comic strip pages. A pretty belly band. You'll notice that mostly the colors that I used were neutrals, white and red and black. Another piece of very sparkly, look at that shimmer there, jelly print that you can do whatever you'd like to. And this is a cute little pocket with some writing paper inside. This is one of the page pockets. It's just a nice big piece of, oh, there's 2 in there. Look at that. I don't think I realized that. I'll just put one back in. I'll move the other one elsewhere. And this is just a nice big page I thought would be easy to write on. And then here is another one of our pocket pages, but I have this nice writing space or space for a photo or whatever you'd like to use it for. A nice big writing card, and so we'll put the gray one with this, and that way it's not two of the same in a pocket like it was before in the other one. Here we have a nice little pocket, and it's got that pretty trim, and then a nice little pocket here with a piece of paper inside. Now this pocket that I created here is from a vintage magazine. These are matchbook notebooks, so these can be written on. There's papers inside, and there's 3 of them here. And I created these pockets here during my 100 days of pockets. I'm not sure if this video of when I made this has gone out yet, but if not and you want to know how to make it, it will be coming out. And another nice big journaling card. And when I say nice big journaling card, I mean it, my friends. That is an 8 1/4 inch tall card. Nice that you can take them out and write on them, you know, and you can lay them on a nice flat surface. Here's a cute little pocket. It's just got this nice big tag in it. All the tags are really good size. You can do a lot of writing or whatever it is that you would like to. You could do drawings on them, you know, however you'd like to use the journal, you sure can. Another pocket here. I had fun with this. I had a lot of fun with this. This was great. I bought this a while back, probably 2 years ago, and I had been wanting to do it right around Halloween time because I thought, you know, Cruella and all that. I thought that would be good timing. And I had been holding it, and finally I just grabbed it and said, I'm doing it. Like I'm just gonna do it. Another one of our big pockets with a nice big tag inside. This is some coffee dyed paper, and I crumpled it up, inked it a little bit where the crumples are, the pretty shimmery trim on top. I used a 5-hole pamphlet stitch to stitch this whole thing together. I used red wax thread, and then here's a nice little dangle here hanging at the bottom. Oh yeah, and did I show you? Yeah, I showed you that pocket. So here's this one. This one has a hot pink strip down the side. I felt like this ledger paper was perfect to write on, so I didn't do anything else. I didn't want to add something to it and use up the writing space. This is just a nice big tag. Cute little tag over, or cute little pocket and tag over here. Some nice shiny trim. I used this trim throughout, and then that other shiny trim. I tried to stay very consistent with everything so that I could bring together a certain feeling and vibe to the journal, and I feel like I did good with being consistent. Here's another big tag here in the pockets. To create these giant pockets, I simply glued 2 pieces of scrapbook paper together. And here is a nice green pocket, looking really pretty over the blue here, and just some small tags. This was created during 100 Days of Pockets. Again, not sure if that video has come out yet. Over here on this page, I added a little bit of my gel print paper to the edge of it. I don't know if you can see the shimmer in it, but it's really nice looking paper and worked so well in this journal. Here we have a side pocket with our shiny red trim and a dark butterfly. I did add some butterflies and moths, but I only added ones that were dark in color, again, to just stick with the look and theme here. This is an advertisement for a different comic strip, but I left it because, I don't know, why not? Some of them I covered, but this one I left because I guess I like the colors. It's of course a very different theme, but that's just the way it goes. I felt like it worked good enough, and especially by the time I put the pockets in, you really can't tell too much what's going on there. Now over here in this pocket, I put a piece of my gel print, which again I think goes so nicely in this journal. And then I added, it's loose, you can see it's loose, but I added this notebook paper, and I thought if you wanted to, you could actually glue it. But in case you wanted to use the gel prints elsewhere, I figured I wouldn't glue it. I would leave it just as an option to the new owner. I will list this to my Etsy shop. Here's a nice big journaling card. And over here we have a pocket with a smaller tag. Super pretty. It goes very nicely with this paper over here, which is a rose patterned gel print with some trim up top. Both of these are gel prints, and both of them are shimmery and shiny. I hope you can see them. Again, you could add paper over top if you wanted. You could add gesso if you wanted, or if you wanted to write with a black pen, I do believe that that would show up on here. Some nice black and white trim there, and I added a typewriter here. This is a coffee dyed tag, and this is a piece of handmade paper, and I love that it's torn. This was another advertisement, so I covered it because it was too cutesy and it didn't work with it, so I glued this whole piece down. This is a pretty belly band. You can see our dark moth. I think it's a moth, not a butterfly. And then another piece of handmade paper. And then this has a tag inside of the pocket. This is a piece of notebook paper, and this is a piece of handmade paper. And I had a couple pieces of handmade paper that I wanted to put in here. And I chose this one with the blue splotches because of the blue that's going on over here. And then this gold is an inconsistent trim. This is the only 2 pages that I used it on, but it works so well here that I feel good about it. And then I put a faux stamp down here. This was another advertisement, so I basically covered it. I glued this whole thing down. Some sparkly trim here. And then this is a small belly band with a really pretty tag. This is a piece of my gel print over top of some scrapbook paper. This is an authentic vintage stamp, and it was a 3-cent stamp, so that tells you how old that is. And then this is another big journaling card inside of our scrapbook paper pocket. And just a nice big journaling card over here. This says Cover Gallery, so these are the different Cruella comic books, I suppose. and it shows all the different covers for them. This is the same on the back. Just a nice variety of different ones. Look at this one in the car. She's flying through the air. That's really funny. Here we have another big pocket and another nice big tag. And over here we have another belly band and another invitation. And this belly band I added the red trim, and then a cutout from a book, and then a pretty butterfly in a dark color. And then this is the back cover, and it is trimmed with this sparkly trim. So fun. Works really, really well with this theme. This is the back. I'm going to show it to you this way so you can see, you know, there's all the pages and everything. But I love it. I'm really glad I took the time to do it. I love the way that it came out. I will list it in my Etsy shop if you're interested. And thanks for watching. See you soon.